Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? Alright, I have been able to have a little moments to myself after this powerful and very, very heavy episode where the backstories and overall background of the characters that we truly know and love gets flushed out to such a beautiful degree. And this week's episode is none the less the same, with both two characters that I truly, truly love in this show. I don't know if, okay, for sure, it's my second favorite male and my first favorite female. Just an overall, like, her character and how she is, like how she reacts to everything seemingly. So in Bundle, I can't hear how you guys are gonna pronounce it, but I always pronounce the beginning of this show wrong, so I just call it Stray Dogs. Stray Dogs this week, man. I honestly can't believe what we learned this week about not only this girl's, like, family and, her mom and dad and what they were in their past life, but just how they went out, man. God, it was brutal, bro. Like, I understand that once you're a spy, you kind of have everything coming to you, I guess. Like, you're going undercover sometimes, trying to be friends with people that are evil, and then these guys are doing this while they have a kid now. Like, I could understand if they were spies and they retired after having the kid, and then regardless of retiring, people still wanted that beef, so you couldn't really stop it. You just gotta squash it while you can. I would understand that, right? But it felt like they were still, doing what they were doing. They were still working for the armed agency or something along those lines. And when they said they were spies, I wonder if they meant they said they were like government official spies or something like that, or that they were like they were trying to spy on the government. So they were spies within the government, and that would make more it. The only reason why I say they were spying on the government is because the ability they were using is nothing we've seen before. And what better people to guess that have that ability would be the government that they may have found some information out to to um, give to the armed agency, which I think they might be working with the government. Maybe they just didn't trust something that was going on within the operation, and they send in some spies to get information. And yeah, so I don't know. Oh yeah, yeah, that I don't know. Okay, this is why I don't make predictions, man. I always hate to just, like, put you guys astray if it is right or wrong. I just like to be surprised regardless, or see if I was even close to guessing right by the time the episode comes out. But it just feels like there's so many different ways they could go about explaining whatever that ability was coming from, because it sounded like it just was, he said it was a parting gift from someone's ability or something. So uh but the thing is, every single person that was fighting the parents had one red eye, as if it was in almost all of them without it, it simultaneously anyway. So I'm not sure if that was the case. It just looked like that because all of them already had it, or I'm guessing that slime, seeing how it moved, like just by blood splattering on their face from the kill, was enough to, really have them in a position to be taken over by that ability. So maybe that's why all of them were taken over, because they all probably got some blood on them as soon as one of their comrades died, because they were so close to each other. Um, but overall, it was a wild way to learn just how someone's parents got, like, taken out, man. It's really sad that not only did they get taken out the way that they did, but they They had to take each other out. They literally had to kill one another because first off, her dad was broken with a silenced pistol, and he was already aiming at his daughter, so he had no chance of not taking, the shot with that ability taking him over and moving his arm already. Which, interesting enough, it didn't aim at the wife. It aimed straight for the daughter, almost as if it was even uh, someone was there to be able to see what and how it should be used. Like, for instance, the guys were running out. Like the spies were running at them all like slow, not simultaneously. So that gives me a better feeling of okay, yeah, then they probably did. They probably did. Whatchamacallit? Have someone, the guy who was controlling the ability, he was probably close enough to witness the actual battle going on so he can start making the calls to which like thing in the air vicinity that his ability should focus on, unless the ability itself was from one of those people that died and his gift was just whenever he died to kill the person, like do anything at any necessary means to kill the person that killed me. Maybe, I don't know. So if you guys don't want to be spoiled, and some of my anime people help me out with this, I apologize if you see it and it was going to be explained later on. But yeah, definitely feel free to let me know what you guys think this whole thing turns out to be. Like why that blood thing was doing what it was doing, if it was a part of someone who was in the room and already dead, so the ability is gone, or was it someone who was not there and sent them in there with that ability. So now that the parents were killed off and stuff, we still have to worry about the person who can do that type of ability in the world still. So that would be more entertaining to me than just letting that person who killed her parents get away with by dying already and not have Snow be the one to take him out. Because like I was saying, the parents had to literally have to almost take each other out, and then the mom taking out the dad, she had to take out herself by giving her ability to her daughter because she told the ability to protect her, which also there was another prerequisite that she had set up, which was the cell phone she had gotten days before this actually happened. So someone taught the mother how to transfer your ability, and because of that, she clearly was like, you know what? I'm gonna transfer this at any time possible. I'm gonna attack my daughter, or if I can't control myself, or if she just needs the ability more than I do at the moment, I'm giving it to my daughter, and that just goes to show you that any way, shape, or form that she's been treating Snow Killer or like this ability that she can use at times, we we know um, we know exactly what kind of like payout it is now. Like this is straight up her mom's ability that she sent in to save her, but at the same time, all she thought was, this is the ability that killed both my parents, and I hate it. So that was like the first part of the episode, and then the second part takes place on our second orphan child, who we don't know what happened to his parents or if he had parents. Like, well, what happened to his parent? You know what I mean? So we don't know what made him what he is. But the thing we do know is the headmaster was absolutely way more brutal to him than we actually saw previously, seeing how he was like he was like almost an adult by the time we actually get to see him, and he's got a little bit of a little bit more brave in him because he's not scared to actually leave and do whatever he thinks is right to try to get uh, away from all of this and live on his own. So by doing so, or he was even thinking about robbing people and stuff because he just didn't have any ways of foods and to eat. So that was just his plan. if I gotta rob people, I'll do it. And that's how we came to meeting Dazai. He was looking for the tiger that they were, saying he was. So come to find out that all of the stuff his headmaster put him through, he became much, much better for it in the overall case of um, just getting better. You know what I mean? Like he saw that he was treated one way, so why would he then go and treat anybody else that way? And like Dazai said, he was literally in the worst place possible, but because of it, it created the best person possible from you, I guess you can say. And that pretty hit me. That hit me pretty hard, because if you've been through tough situations and you just don't know why until you grow up, and then all of a sudden those same type of tough situations seem like nothing because you know other hardship, other things that people have gone through that maybe make you want to feel like doing just even that much more for them. So it had that type of tone to it, and to think that this whole episode, the tiger was on a case to find out what has happened to a victim in a case, and it turned out to be someone had ran in front of a truck and pretty much just got hit in the head and died, and the head damage was so bad that they had to be identified by their fingertips to actually know who they were. So his face is like completely just gone. And finding out that his headmaster, or like his headmaster just happened to be in town, like in a place that was pretty far away from the orphanage that he was raised in. It was a shock to him to find out that that person was his headmaster that got his head splattered, and he was absolutely happy and astounded. Like he was so happy that happened, because he's been living. If he saw his headmaster, that kind of scares me to think of what he might have done or thought of doing as soon as he got laid eyes on him. So that's the type of crazy stuff that they just throw at you in this show, with how powerful and beautiful the backstory can be. And not only just the backstory, the present story of where all of this could have been. Like he could have told this kid some things that he never imagined the person who he was supposed to hate would say to him. And that might have changed something, but at the same time, it may have made it worse by seeing him or something along those lines. So it's almost like a blessing and a curse at the same time. And even Dazai knows that he can't, recite the feelings that this guy has and what he's going through. But what he can say is once someone loses their father, they usually cry, and before I'm pretty manly, okay? I'm not just saying that because I think you have to say that before I just feel like the way this was told, the way this was delivered, I had those two tears all the way touching my chin before this man did, and that's just because it was so impactful. And to know that you got what he's been wishing for all the time. I hope he dies. I hope you know what I'm saying? And it happens just to find out that he had the newspaper article of you being a hero, and that is the only reason why he was truly in town, is because he was learning more and more about what your job entailed and what you've been doing all this time. So at the end of the day, this man was trying to right his wrongs, or at least allow the were-tiger to sink its fangs into him for showing his face after putting it through what he did. So absolutely work of art. Not to mention the funny parts of meeting back up with the girl at the coffee shop and her trying to take wet clothes off, and dry them, and I don't know what the heck the weird type. It felt like he really just wanted to be in a situation where they were both naked. Okay, you could dry off our clothes and put us like, no, bro, just just stop. You don't try to use someone else's ability that you barely understand, and the one time you did use it, she literally was trapped in her own ability. It's so powerful. So just no. But overall, man, they got some funny stuff, and they have some very impactful story plots and character development that I've never really expected from a show that, whenever I see it, it feels like it's either one thing or another, but then they somehow do a little bit of every type of genre in here: action, drama, some horror, or like horror, yeah, mystery and case solving, and all. It has a little bit of everything. And then when you look at the characters, they're so well done, guys. I absolutely love it. I hope you guys have an amazing day, night, evening. If you guys checked out my JoJo video, thank you guys so much, and you're checking this out as well. Or if you're just checking this out, that's great. Thank you, thank you. But what I was gonna say is, check out my boy Shy Lion. This man was on a Hunter x Hunter / Berserk hiatus, and he's back and kicking. And I know he doesn't really care about subs and stuff like that, but regardless of the fact, the boy be shouting me out, and I can't really think of anything to do for him because he doesn't really care for, like, to grow his channel for any types of means other than having fun and meeting people that like to talk about shows. So I'm not sure if this is a show he's going to pick up, but JoJo's something he's really into, and he has a lot of other genre stuff that he really watches that sometimes I don't even touch on. So if there's anything you like in there, drop a comment, and that would definitely make his day just by hearing from people that actually enjoy shows that he enjoys. So, with that being said, my anime people, stay positive and always hit me up in the comments about anything. I'm always here. Your anime G is not only just your anime reviewer, but I would love to be the guy that you can come to talk about anything, man. So, with that being said, take care, everybody. Peace.